This is what I do. The costume designer pulls out a whole rack of things that they think might look good, because we weren't sure if the baseball clothes might be more modern, like a puffy jacket or whatever. And so I walk in there and I see a whole rack of clothes. Now, if there's something that I just cannot stand, I just take it and I say, I never want to see this again. And I don't want to see it now, and I don't want Rob to see it or Kristen to see it. Because what if I just hate it, and from my eyes it's ugly or whatever. Everybody has a different set of eyes, and but I've got to feel good about things as a director and feel like it's right. So if Robert or somebody walks in and sees it and they like it, then I'm going to get in an argument with the actor, and I don't want to get in an argument. I want it to be all creative and positive. So I'm going to curate the look first before they come in and select it, so that I do like everything first. So I'm there in the first, wardrobe sessions with cool things. And of course, you guys know we created a very strict palette for Twilight. Like, for example, in the whole movie, you do not see anybody with a yellow shirt, do you? Or an orange shirt. Everything is extremely controlled. And the Cullens, as you know, the colors were supposed to be the color of the Arctic wolves. So we had the blues, grays, silvers, blacks, and whites. So that was kind of fun. Anyway, yes, okay, next. And Bella, as everybody knows, okay, those were my shoes, and we had, who has these shoes? A lot of you guys have these shoes. That is, okay, screen accurate, okay? I'm getting the lingo down, man, right? Okay, screen accurate, love it. Okay, what is the other one? Screen accurate.
Screen worn.
Worn, okay. How about screen worn by a double? Is that a separate one? No. Screen almost worn? Okay. Anyway, so that was kind of fun, trying all these different things. Now you see we found that bowling shirt, which was very cool, but it wasn't the right exact color, so we had to remake it. Okay, let's keep going. Treetops, woo, okay. Remember that, okay, all of us that love the book, that scene was not in the book. So why is it in the movie? Well, in the book, you have all this time in your head to read things and think about it and imagine it. But in a film, I really want it to be very cinematic and just take you in it and make you feel like you're in the action and you're in those feelings of, of being madly in love. And so I kind of created this whole sequence. Let's see, we can go to the next one. And this was you guys seen it in the book, the little drawing, like, okay, let's start, like, it looks like a child drew it, but it was very useful because I could tell everybody, this section is going to be shot at the house, this is going to be the actual tree with a platform. And, I went back to the Cullen house. Who's been there to the Cullen house? Yes! Okay, now have you guys noticed, if you've been recently, they added a whole new wing onto it, but the tree is still there. Yes! Okay. I was like, I hope they didn't chop that tree. So anyway, this was a planning sequence. Next, what do we have? Okay, and then you guys know all these things. And okay, I'm not afraid of you. And then, does this have the spider monkey one? Oh yeah, the night before I was thinking, wow, they don't have any dialogue in this scene. I better come up with some lines of dialogue. So I wrote 9 lines out and I showed them to Rob, and he picked the spider monkey line, I like that one the best, so that was kind of cool. Okay, let's keep going. That's all the riggers, hold on tight, spider monkey. Oh yeah, and then when we finished, we couldn't afford the storyboard artist anymore. We only had like 2 weeks of them. Then, as you guys probably know, I did the next storyboard drawings myself, I think on the next page. Anyway, you guys probably know all this stuff, but it was pretty fun. And it was a really freezing cold day, and everybody was just like shivering there. We had heaters right off the set, so that they could take off their shirts and look like they were warm, but it was a pretty miserable day. Yeah. Okay, next, helicopter. Oh, obviously I like helicopters. Any chance I can get, let's go. In fact, I got here on a small plane. Did you guys hear that? Yeah. Jamie and I and pilot, you know, it was like, ooh, treetops were like raking the belly, you know, it was like pretty exciting. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now, no, I don't think we need that one. They've seen this movie too many times. But the next one I wanted you guys to see. Okay, yeah, let's talk about this. So the ballet studio, as you know in the book, most of it happens kind of off camera. We don't hear too much about the action in the book. I'm like, I want to see that action. I want to see what happened in the ballet studio. So we were trying to imagine, you know, what could happen in that studio and come up with some cool action stuff. And the next one, as you guys know, I do a little diagram of every set and then figure out, okay, that's where Edward is the E, and Bella and James, and, you know, somebody's going to go from point A to point B, and the camera's going to go here. So I got to kind of pre-plan it all in my head. And then I do a shot list, very detailed, every single shot that's going to be in the movie. And can you see why some of them are blue, some are yellow? Okay, the blue ones are second unit. Do you guys know what second unit is? Second unit means that another director had to do those like on Saturday with the stunt doubles, because you don't see the actors' exact faces. So we don't take up our shooting time, which, you know, it costs a lot of money to shoot a movie. I don't know if you guys know, it's like $150,000 a day. So as a director, you have got to be very prepared. For me, especially as a female director, you want to walk in there and know exactly where you're going to put the camera and exactly what shots you want so that people will listen to you. You have that confidence. And so I've got to be really prepared. And that's why I have everything detailed out. Is this interesting? Are you guys liking this? Okay. I don't know if it's getting too detailed. Okay, and then what are the blue? That is non-Bella shots. Okay, what does that mean?
Oh,
Bella,
she was 17.
how old was Bella? How old was
She was
Kristen?
a minor.
She was a minor. By the time she got her hair, makeup, and drove to the set, I got to spend 5.5 hours with her a day. She's in almost every scene. Luckily, we had a double for her that looks very beautiful, body, hands, everything looked very similar. So from behind, we could use the double. So all those blue shots, I figured out, okay, I can use the double in those shots. And the double was an actress too. She's in the movie, she's the waitress in one of the scenes. But, you know, she was able to watch the way Kristen moved and her body moved and be able to mimic it so that you can't really tell the difference. Pretty cool. Yeah. And also in that scene, in the restaurant scene, Rob's double is in the scene too, right behind him, who's also a very good actor, you know, and they both were excellent at mimicking the person. Let's see, what do we have? Oh yeah, so some of the storyboards for this sequence. And now we have this thing that I don't think, maybe some of you guys might have seen it in Portland, that film festival. That has I don't think anybody else has seen this. This is how we do like a rehearsals behind the scenes. Now, it's very funny because sometimes you'll see a glimpse of Rob and Kristen, you'll see Cam and Gigande in there, but mostly you see the doubles because, for example, we did not want to smash Rob Pattinson's face against a mirror and hurt it if we hadn't already tried it out with a stunt double, right? So it's like, let's not hurt this face. So as I'm like being very careful to say, I want to see it done first with somebody else. And also what you'll see in here, you'll see that we'll try different camera angles. Like, what if we were down low? Would this be more impactful? So we're learning a lot when we do the test. You guys want to see it? Yeah. Okay, it's kind of funny, so feel free to laugh.
Screaming! Sit up. A little. It's painful, isn't it? My God. but you're not strong. Strong enough to kill you.
Enough. Did you guys notice what we're doing? Trying to figure out things. Does that look better in slow motion? Does it look good from this angle? All kinds of stuff. You saw a couple of the actors in there, right? Yeah. And then Cam likes to do his own stunts, so he's like action mode, you know. But I think our actors are a little bit better than these actors. But anyway, so then I was just on my computer this morning trying to see if I had a few other fun little pictures or something to show you guys. Want to see a couple more little things? So as a director, you know, you just, everywhere you go, you're just trying to absorb things, learn things, get cool ideas. And one of the first places I went, oh yeah, okay, this is the part where we won't do the phones, okay? This is
Well, that was incredible. I like when we asked Catherine how long her presentation was going to be, she told us 10 minutes. I am so glad it was way longer. No, longer than 10 minutes, and it was a good thing. Yeah.
I thought of all those photos this morning, and I thought, oh, they might be fun. You guys might like them. They might be.
I think that you made the right decision. So we just have a few things to chat about and a couple fan questions, so nothing too hard. But one of the things we wanted to start with is that it's been 10 years since this movie came out, and I mean, at least probably 11 or 12. When did you start working on it? 2000.
I think I heard about it in sometime in the fall or something in 2007.
Okay, so yeah, it's been so long. So your life has to have changed dramatically in the last. All of our lives have. What is the biggest? How does your life look differently now than it did when you were filming Twilight or when you were working on Twilight?
Well, we didn't know it was going to be like a blockbuster or anything. It was kind of like the indie movie that could or whatever until Nancy and her team blew this shit up. I know she already did a talk first, but I still want to give my perspective on, and I didn't actually hear it, so I hope I'm not repeating, but one day Nancy said, okay, we're going to have a meeting with you, Catherine, when we were in prep, and she said, I'm going to lay out my plan for this project, and she said, first of all, you don't have any known actors in this, so we're not going to be able to get covers of any magazines or get on any talk shows or anything like that, so it's going to be hard to get the word out about this movie, And I was like, did I screw up or whatever? So she's like, so she said, okay, but on this day we're going to try to do this, on this day we're going to do this, then we're going to find some fans and have them come out to the location, and and she made this whole sort of like genius master plan. I'm looking at this wall like, whoa, okay, I wonder if this is going to happen. Well, every one of Nancy's ideas came through, but bigger even than she thought. Am I right? It was pretty crazy, and I think we were all in shock because they told us, oh, we might not make as much as Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. They said that's the biggest girl movie that's ever come out, and it made $29 million. And that's probably all we'll ever make, So anyway, but thanks to you guys and everybody else, we did a little better than the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. So we liked the Traveling Pants. Nothing against Traveling Pants, but Anyway, so I didn't expect to be in this, incredible whirlwind, getting to go all around the world and seeing all these things. So it's just been a wild ride for me. It's been super fun. Look at all the fun, crazy people here today. Look at my Texas T-shirt I got. And all the other neat little fun things you guys said to me and talked about.
So what was that moment? When did you know it was going to be a hit? Was there a moment or an event that happened that you're like, oh, we're on to something?
Okay, well, in Rome it was pretty scary because we didn't have any bodyguard security or anything, no threats of going to prison, like today. And so this was in Rome. The Rome Film Festival would have been like maybe 3 or 4 months before Twilight was released, or 2 months or 3 months. And so we went over there, we had a book signing at this store in the middle of Rome, and we thought, they gave us like an hour to be there, and then there were something like 1,100, 1,500 people like going around the blocks in Rome. So we couldn't sign them all, so we had to leave to go somewhere else. And just to try to get out into the car was one of those scary moments where we thought we were going to die, because all the people, first they were mad, and they wanted their books to be signed, and then they just started crushing us. We didn't have any help or anything. Kristen's very small. I'm not the biggest person. And then Rob, so we're all like, ah! We get in the car, and then people are surrounding the car. We couldn't even drive down the streets. We were like, Princess died. It was scary. And then we realized, okay, this is Rome. The movie hadn't even come out. I mean, something is going on.
It's in the water.
Yeah.
Wow. So what did you film that didn't make the cut?
Oh, what didn't make the cut? Well, there was one day we went to the waterfall, Multnomah Falls. You guys know that place? Beautiful. Now, it's in the background of the baseball sequence, but we did do a scene there. But when we went there that day, buckets of rain were pouring down. We were just wet rats. I mean, Rob and Kristen looked like drowned rats. I'm like, this does not look good. That is not in the movie. And a few other little things, but mostly we put things in the film.
Sounds like weather was like a big struggle.
Yeah.
You weren't in the Pacific Northwest during the sunny time of year or
The
something.
weather is radical here. I mean, of course that's why Stephanie put it here. This is supposed to be the time of all the cloud cover. And we were very close, in Portland, which has a lot of clouds and cloud cover too. But, we were told, okay, it's going to be cloudy. You look at the weather report, it's going to be cloudy this whole month, or this whole week. Boom, the sun came out every day we were at the baseball field. Now, the sun cannot come out in Twilight because people have to sparkle if it does, and sparkling costs a lot of money. Okay, so I think you guys have maybe seen the videos where we did the cloud dances, and we had the whole crew out there trying to do a cloud dance and pull the clouds over the sun, like everything we could think of, every ritual, every God you could pray to, but so we had to build. So do you guys know what you do on a film when you can't film because it's rainy? You have a cover set. Have you guys heard of that? So we had all these cover sets, like if it's rainy, we're going to go in and do this thing inside, or if it's sunny, we're going to do this. So every day we had to have 3 choices if it was sunny, rainy, or cloudy of what we were going to shoot. So it was pretty crazy.
Wow, it's wild. Music is such a huge part of the Twilight franchise, whether it's the score or the soundtrack. We know those things are usually added after the film is shot. But what music were you inspired by? What were you listening to at the time? What songs maybe make you think of Twilight that aren't on the soundtrack?
Well, as you guys know, we got to give a lot of props to Stephanie Meyer, who made these great playlists and told us what she was listening to when she was writing the books. So she was listening to Muse and all these cool things. So instantly, of course, wanting to respect and get the authenticity of what Stephanie created, listen to everything that she talked about, and then other new music was coming in from Alex, the music supervisor. Listen to this new band, listen to this cool person. Oh, we just found out that Haley from Paramore loves Twilight. She came into the editing room, sat there with me, watched some scenes. You know, as you saw in the book, I have her handwritten lyrics to the song, you know, so it was so fun. But then, as you know, we had to have Edward playing the lullaby in the movie. We wanted the hands to be accurately playing it on the piano, so that had to be written before we started the film. And Carter Burwell, the awesome composer, he's so great. And have you guys already heard the story of how Bella's lullaby was written? Or
No, it's in the director's book.
it's in the director's book, but okay, well, I'll tell you real quickly anyway, because the thing was, he said it's got to be this complicated love story, you know, love song, because theirs is so complicated and they have so many obstacles and everything. And he said, you know, I've been thinking about it, and my wife and I have a very complicated love story. At one point, she broke up with me before they got married, and so I had to write something to get her back. So he wrote this piece to lure her back, to fall back in love with him. And he said, I'm going to ask my wife if it's okay to use it, because now they're married, and they weren't then. So she said it was okay if I liked it. I listened to it, I'm like, hell yeah, I love it. It's beautiful and complicated. And so then he took it and then wove that into the theme. And then, of course, as you know, Rob is a fantastic musician, guitarist, singer, you know, pianist. He's got the long vampire fingers when they play that piano. Beautiful, right?
Hashtag
so,
finger
you know,
porn.
he was able to learn it and just flow organically and play that gorgeous piece. And that was so fun watching him play that the first time. I mean, you're just like, tears.
So after the success of Twilight, you became the most commercially successful female director at that point. So people called that a phenomenon at the time, and it still is, although there's been obviously
Patty Jenkins,
yeah.
Wonder Woman,
So,
kicked my ass. Okay.
Yeah, your next movie. Talk about that, you know, back 10 years ago, how it is versus now. Do you find it's easier for women? Not yet? Where are we in this process?
Well, we all know a lot of cool stuff has happened in the last year. Me Too, Time's Up. You know, a lot of awesome people have been talking and writing and trying to change the world and you know, create more diversity, more female voices, persons of color, really broaden the range of what's out there and what we can see on television and in film. So there is a lot of talk about change, and there is some real change. I mean, that was a pretty cool example, Ms. Bala, the fact that a studio has a Latina lead. You know, that's a big deal, you know. It doesn't happen every day, and not often enough. And then they decided, okay, if we're having a female lead, we should have a female director. So that's cool. They made an effort. Now, there's still going to be a lot of examples where they don't make an effort today. Sharp Objects, Big Little Lies, all those episodes, all directed by a guy. But they're all women's stories. You know, all of the other Divergence and Hunger Games, all directed by, all the other Twilights directed by men. So, you know, we still have a long way to go, but at least people are a little bit more aware of it now and trying to make an effort. But I've been in like a women's forum, you know, where everyone's talking about women power, and then a guy will come up to me, yeah, I'm doing a TV show starring a woman, isn't that great? I go, great, who's directing it? A man. I go, well, why didn't you hire a woman? Oh, well, we tried, but we couldn't find anybody. I'm like, hello, did you ask me? And I'm standing next to 3 other female directors. Did you ask any of them? No. They might have asked one person. Oh, Ava DuVernay wasn't available. Oh, Patty Jenkins wasn't available. There's a lot of wonderful people. So we still have a lot of work to do. And the more everybody writes about it and blogs about it and talks about it and demands it and supports female-directed movie and persons of color on film, it's great. LGBTQ, everything. We just got to keep the movement going. We gotta still keep working on it, guys. I know you guys are very good at influencing people out in the world, so do it.
Many of your films center on themes of teen angst, friendship. Why are you drawn to those themes? How does Twilight fit into your canon of films?
Okay, well, for me, like when you're a teenager, that's when everything changes, right? Suddenly you get some boobs or whatever. Suddenly you could drink. You could drink, you could get driver's license, you know, you fall in love with somebody. Like everything is possible right then. So that's unfortunately the highest rates of, you know, car accidents, suicides, drug overdoses, because everything is happening, your body's changing. So it's very dramatic time. I mean, isn't that almost the most dramatic time in everybody's life? You're also trying to find your own identity. So that's like great stuff to make a movie, that we want to see those dynamic shifts in people. So, you know, I think it's fascinating. I mean, who doesn't remember the pain of high school? Anybody here had it easy? Doesn't remember? So, just so much juicy, crazy stuff happens at that time.
So we had a bunch of fan questions, so we're going to do just a quick couple now as we're wrapping, but one that came through a few times that we have to ask.
Okay.
And it relates to something that, well, Stephanie Meyer gets asked about Midnight Sun, that book she wrote from Edward's perspective all the time. So we have to ask, because the fans will kill us if not, if you're ever going to release the Rob and Kristen audition tape from your house.
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think you guys could handle it, honestly. I don't want to cause riots in the streets. It's pretty steamy. It's pretty wild. I mean, Rob gets so steamy after the kiss that he fell off my bed. Okay? So, I just don't think you guys' hearts are strong enough.
I die happy though. I die happy though.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Just saying.
Well, let's go to some fan questions we can answer. The budget for Twilight was lower than the rest of the series films. If you could go back with a bigger budget, unlimited, what changes would you make? Toby from Florida, she's here.
Oh, hey, Toby. So, yes, I did have a lot more, like, cool ideas for stunts in the baseball sequence, really bitchin' stuff. I had some more awesome stuff in the ballet fight and everything. I had all the storyboards and everything. I had this really neat underwater sequence. I wanted to do something in Astoria. You guys know Astoria? How beautiful is that place with the old piers out into the water? I had this neat stuff, and of course I wanted to film some things in Forks to keep it really authentic. Yes, yes I did, I fought for it. But I was slapped. But anyway, so all of those things I think would have made it even, I mean I love the movie, but it would have even been one layer more awesome, you know. But I'm glad we got to make it.
Oh, yeah. So this is from Carly from California, who's here. Hi, Carly. Considering how big, literally and physically, of a role Jacob would play later in the films, what made you and the casting director decide to take a chance on Taylor?
Okay, well, really, we took a chance on every cast member because none of them were like superstars. I mean, Rob had done the Harry Potter thing, but that was already like 3 or 4 years before, and you know, he hadn't done too many things after that. And actually, Jacob had probably done more starring roles than anybody else. But I mean, because he did his
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, exactly. And look at his badass karate videos. Like 7-year-old superhero, you know, he was very confident. He was a very confident person. But, you know, of course I was trying my hardest to find a Native American actor that was the closest possible to that tribe from the Pacific Northwest. We went to all kinds of reservations, put out all this information because I wanted to get it as authentic as possible, and even found people, you know, that I paid for them to go to acting classes to see if they could act and everything. And of course, Jacob was written to be very tall in the script, so I thought Taylor was great, but I was just, okay, can I even get more accurate to the book? But you know, you only have that once in a lifetime person sometimes. You know, there's not usually just 10 people lined up that are perfect for the part, you know, at that age and everything. So, you know, we thought he was by far the best, you know. Jacob.
Monique from Texas, who is here today.
Hello.
Monique. She wants to know, do you keep in touch with any of the cast today?
Yes, I do. So I, of course, just came to Portland with Jackson Rathbone, and he was one of the first people involved. You know, he went with me to audition Kristen in Pittsburgh and did all the improv. So it was kind of like coming full circle. Jackson's a lot of fun, you know, just absolutely a blast. And then, of course, Nikki I've known since she's 5 years old. So, of course, I see her as much as I can and have held her cute baby and all that. She's such a good mom, awesome mom. And, you know, Nikki does all these great things for the world, making the vegan bags and, you know, all these cool charities. And she's so fun. And her other vampire lover husband, he's the best. Ian is like the best dad you've ever seen in your life. He's so good with the baby. And, like, it's such a love fest. Anyway, so, and then of course I see, you know, in Hollywood we got all those fun parties for, you know, during award season and stuff, so that's really cool because you'll see Dr. Cullen and hang out, and you'll see Rob, and so the last time I saw Rob, I think he was with Skrillex, and so I got to talk to Skrillex and Rob. That was a cool, like, combo platter. And one time Kristen came and I got some kind of an award or whatever, and she came and presented it for me. And so it's really fun, you know, just to run into people or see them whenever you get a chance. And then, of course, Nikki and myself and Evan Rachel Wood, if you go online on Refinery 29, you see, did you guys see that? That's so neat. We have the 15th anniversary of 13 is this year, so we did a whole, like, long forum on that. That was really fun. Yeah.
That was awesome.
So it's so fun to see everybody, because everybody's alive and doing cool things, you know.
Your film was such a springboard for all these actors. It's amazing to see them.
Oh yeah, Anna Kendrick, I see her all the time at events. I see Justin, you know, Christian Serranos is doing her cool stuff on Walking Dead, you know, so it's really neat to see. And Gil Birmingham, you know, did, what was the Hell and High Water, or what, yeah. Wind River, and another, yeah.
All of the above.
House of Cards and all those. So it's so fun because a lot of these people didn't have a voice or a face, and, you know, or have a forum. And now I know Gil goes all over, you know, doing his music. Everybody does all this fun stuff and has really given back to the world. I mean, Rob and Kristen have gotten a lot of beautiful indie movies greenlit that wouldn't have been made, you know, and they've got to do all these movies that they're passionate about. So it just keeps on, you know, going and going and going.
Well, I think Stephanie Meyer obviously gave us the story and started this, and we have her to thank for all of this, but we have you to thank for taking it and to this point where we are sitting on the stage in Forks and next to costumes from, you know, your film, and we just want to say thank you on behalf of myself, on behalf of Nikki, and
Well, you know, we want to say thank you guys, because I think you might notice all the films that I've worked on as a production designer or director or other people that I've worked on for over the years. We've put all that love and care into every little detail, and most of the time people don't even notice it. But you guys notice it. We like that. You appreciate all the love and detail that we put into it. Screen accurate, my new favorite word. Okay. So thank you guys for being so supportive. Yeah.
thank you, Catherine. Let's give a big round of applause to Catherine Hardwicke. Contest here, so it's a reminder, but there is a giveaway, I believe, happening from some items. Yeah, that Nancy lovingly brought for you guys. So I think you have tickets. Okay, we're having some people come up here to facilitate that.